반짝이는 눈빛 눈이 부셔 매일 날 감싸주는 손길.
Nayong, why don't you hug Little Bin or show him any love? Jin Nayong seemed cold toward Little Bin even after his birth. Although she had been feeling uneasy lately, something felt off. Could it be that someone she wanted to forget was on her mind? If Little Bin isn't Han Yeon-sung's child, some believe he might be Choi Pidis. Looking back at the time when Nayong looked like Soo Ji, she moved to an office where Han Yeon-sung worked, likely to attract him. This office, owned by a chaebol-san, must have had high rent. How could Nayong, who didn't have much money, afford such luxury? Maybe she met a rich man who helped pay for her lifestyle, including her fancy clothes. Today, I will discuss the dark secrets of Nayong's past, reveal the truth about Little Bin's birth, and discuss what might happen next. To understand her actions, we need to go back to when Nayong was focused on one goal. I will outshine my sister Jin Soo Ji and became famous. While Jin Soo Ji was admired as a respected doctor, Nayong felt like just another worker at the broadcasting station, battling feelings of jealousy. This rivalry grew until one day. She got a call from the station's director who had always supported her. He hinted that if she got closer to him, she could get good opportunities. Although she first said no, her envy made her reconsider. Feeling helpless against her sister's success, she thought this might be her last chance. Nayong eventually accepted the director's offer even though she was unknowingly pregnant with Little Bin. Wanting to improve her status, she aimed to seduce Han Yeon-sung and live a luxurious life. She used the director's money to buy expensive clothes, trying to look wealthy to catch Han Yeon-sung's eyes. Her plan worked. He fell for her, and after they spent the night together, Nayong told him she was pregnant, leading to their marriage. But when she held her newborn for the first time, everything changed. Little Bin looked just like the broadcasting station director, shocking her and filling her with fear. Unable to handle this, she became distant, neglecting the baby and not showing him love. One day, Jin Soo Ji walked by Nayong's house and overheard her arguing on the phone. As she listened, pieces of the puzzle started to fit together. When Nayong shouted, "Stop it! Little Bin is not your child," Jin Soo Ji's heart raced with disbelief. This moment confirmed her worst fears about her sister's choices. She stood frozen, overwhelmed by the shocking truth, her mind flooded with unanswered questions. As Nayong's voice became sharper, suggesting that Little Bin might be the director's child, the phone call revealed many things that she didn't know. Even after the call ended, Jin Soo Ji didn't know how to handle this secret. Should she reveal the truth, or should she stay silent? Various thoughts crossed her mind and her heart sank into endless confusion. In the end, Jin Soo Ji decided to get a definitive result by conducting a paternity test between Little Bin and Han Yeon-sung using Han Yeon-sung's hair. Jin Soo Ji's mind was in turmoil with various thoughts, but she gathered her courage and slowly unfolded the test results. The moment she saw the results, Jin Soo Ji felt a cold air enveloping her. Little Bin was not Han Yeon-sung's child. Jin Soo Ji sat there stunned. She was trembling all over and couldn't catch her breath from the shock. In the end, Jin Soo Ji reached the conclusion that she couldn't hide this truth. She had to tell the truth. Han Yeon-sung needed to know. When Jin Soo Ji revealed the shocking truth to Han Yeon-sung and her parents-in-law, Kimari and Han Jin-tae, the atmosphere in the room froze instantly. Kimari's face turned pale and her hands trembled as everything in her sight seemed to shake. How could Nayong? How could she deceive us like this? Kimari's voice grew louder, filled with anger and betrayal, completely engulfing her. Han Jin-tae stood there, frozen without saying a word, overwhelmed by the unbelievable reality he was facing. Han Yeon-sung at first couldn't speak and just lowered his head, looking at his parents' shocked expressions. However, their silence didn't last long. Kimari suddenly stood up from her chair and uttered a word. "Get out of this house right now!" The moment had come for Nayong to face the consequences of her countless lies. Nayong realized that everything she had built up had crumbled in an instant. She didn't know what to do and stood there in a daze, but when Kimari's anger exploded, she finally stepped back and tried to defend herself in a frightened voice. "Please, just give me one more chance, Mom. It was a mistake back then. I really mean it. I can raise Little Bin like Yeon-sung's child. Please, just one more chance." Na-young realized that she had nowhere else to run. She looked at Han Yeon-sung, but even in his eyes, there was already cold anger and disappointment. Her perfect plan had been shattered. How could it have come to this? She thought to herself, shedding tears, but in the end, Na-young couldn't say anything and was kicked out of the house. Her life built on lies and deceit had completely crumbled, and she ended up losing everything. Na-young faced the consequences of her lies and deceit, and her life ended in being expelled.
Cause you are beautiful.